All right, today we're breaking down a really powerful framework called the Champions Code. It's basically a set of 5 laws designed to flip a switch in your brain to turn that moment of hesitation into pure, decisive action. So let's get right into the single idea that this whole philosophy is built on. Everything, and I mean everything, comes back to this one quote. The idea is that every single choice you make, from getting out of bed to tackling a huge project, isn't just a choice. It's a battle between two different kinds of pain. You've got the short, sharp pain of doing the hard thing, or the long, slow, haunting pain of knowing you could have. And this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you have growth pain. It stings, it's tough, but it's temporary. And every time you choose it, you build a little more freedom. On the other side, regret pain. That's the one that sticks around. It's this dull, constant ache that, over time, builds a prison of what-ifs. So, that's the choice. The big question is, how do you make picking that first column, the growth one, your automatic go-to? Well, that's where these 5 laws come in. Let's break them down. So law number 1 is all about taking that core idea and making it real every single day. The goal is to literally rewire your brain so that when a challenge pops up, you don't even think about backing down. Your default setting becomes action. You're making a conscious choice to eat the short-term grind so you can starve the long-term regret. Okay, that sounds great in theory, right? Choose the harder path. But how do you actually do that when you're tired and motivation is nowhere to be found? Well, the framework gets super practical here, with a very specific morning ritual. And this isn't some vague positive thinking exercise. It's a 3-step drill. First, you say the code out loud 5 times to drill it into your head. Second, and this is key, you get specific. You don't just write a goal, you name the exact regret you are actively avoiding today. Like, today I'm choosing the pain of making that sales call over the regret of being broke. And then third, you sign your name. That simple physical act turns a wish into a contract with yourself, and that makes you way more likely to follow through. All right, on to law 2. If law 1 is about getting started, law 2 is about building. It's about completely reframing how you see discipline. It's not punishment. It's the tool. It's the literal engine that turns a vision in your head into something real in the world. You know, this is where so many people fall off. They wait to feel motivated. But champions, they don't run on feelings. They run on systems. It's all about putting in those 1,000 unseen hours, the gritty, unglamorous, repetitive work that nobody ever sees or applauds. That's the real work. And here's the payoff. With a system of daily reps, think of it like a bricklayer putting down one brick at a time perfectly. Success stops being about luck and starts becoming a mathematical certainty. Consistent discipline over time literally guarantees you will manifest what you're working toward. But to keep yourself honest, the framework recommends a tool like this, a weekly discipline audit. This is a no BS check-in with yourself. You're not going by how you feel, you're looking at the data. You score your consistency, you identify what's blocking you, and you write down exactly what you're going to do to fix it. It's ruthless self-accountability. Now, law 3. This one is huge because it tackles the one thing that stops almost everyone, fear. The big idea here is to flip the script on fear completely. Stop seeing it as a warning sign to retreat. Start seeing it as a giant, flashing arrow pointing you exactly where you need to go for your biggest breakthroughs. The source material uses this incredible metaphor. Fear is a dragon guarding a pile of treasure. All your potential, all your power, it's sitting right there behind that dragon. Most people see the dragon and run for the hills. Champions are trained to see the dragon and charge. And you don't just charge blindly. There's a strategy, and it's called the fear ladder. It's a system. You list your fears, you rank them by how much they terrify you, and then you pick number 1, the big one, and you attack it this week. No excuses. The beautiful thing is, once you slay that biggest dragon, the next one on the ladder just doesn't seem so scary anymore. Okay, law 4. This is another massive mindset flip, and this time it's all about your relationship with pain and struggle. The goal is to stop seeing the grind as something to endure and start seeing it as a privilege. Yeah, you heard me, a privilege. It's the price of admission for doing something legendary. The whole idea is that greatness isn't free. Pain is the currency. So every grueling workout, every tough rejection, every late night, that's not a setback. That is a transaction. That is you in the arena paying your dues while everyone else is watching from the cheap seats. You're literally forging your throne. And get this, there's actual biology that backs this up. When you push past that voice screaming quit, your body releases a flood of reward chemicals like endorphins and dopamine. You get a natural high from the effort itself. Champions, like you see in that high bar on the right, become addicted to that feeling. They learn to love the struggle because they love the reward it brings. I mean, this is the ultimate expression of that mindset. Think about the stories of Navy SEALs who were reportedly laughing and joking during the absolute brutality of Hell Week. They've mastered this law so completely that the very thing that breaks 99.9% of people has become their playground. It's just incredible. And that brings us to the final law, the one that ties this whole code together. Your word is law. This is all about raw personal integrity. The framework argues that your ultimate superpower isn't your talent or your intelligence, it's your ability to honor the promises you make to yourself. And check out this wild statistic. The simple act of turning a vague goal into a written down, signed physical contract with yourself can apparently cut your failure rate by up to 95%. That's not a small tweak. It makes the commitment real, tangible, and psychologically almost impossible to break. And this isn't an overnight fix. It's a compounding effect, just like you see here on this timeline. After a week of keeping your promises, discipline gets a little easier. After 2 weeks, that self-trust starts to become rock solid. By day 30, the momentum is so strong, it's almost automatic. You're not just changing your habits anymore. You are fundamentally rewiring your identity. So let's put it all together. The 5 laws of the Champions Code. 1. Choose growth over regret every single time. 2. Use discipline as the architect of your dreams. 3. Treat fear as your compass. 4. Learn to enjoy pain as the price of greatness. And 5. Make the promises you make to yourself non-negotiable. In the end, the Champions Code isn't about a short-term motivational boost. It's an entire operating system for life. It's a system for building a new identity, brick by painful brick. So the question it leaves us with isn't if you can build your empire, but what's it going to look like when you finally do?